Oh,
Yeah, man.
All right, you're live.
okay, what's up, fool? Welcome to the What's Up, Fool podcast. Thank you very much for showing up. Right now, you can see that I'm wearing the new Felipe Esparza What's Up t-shirt, available now for $30. Also, we have the new one over here, old school RTD bus, Felipe Esparza, graffiti bus, What's Up, Fool on it, right there. Check out the areola. And right there on the front of the bus, What's Up, Fool? And that is for also $30. And for
They're not up yet. They'll be up tomorrow. Go ahead.
I wasn't fitted with mushroom store. I wish you would wait. Anyway, so what's up, fool? We got these shirts available. You heard. All right. We're also, man, supporting Vivian. That is, oh, my bad. We're also supporting Vivian Winstringham. She's Isaac's little sister. She passed away from leukemia last year. And right now they're gonna have like 2 years ago. They're gonna
she
have
was
like
2 years old. She was 2 years old. She was 2 years old. She was 2 years old.
Okay, you tell them then.
No, that's it.
All right, let me finish, man. So she passed away 2 years. She was 2 years old. She had cancer, leukemia. She was living in a hospital. It was messed up, man. Isaac, he was so sad. So they're having like a St. Jude walk run tomorrow on Saturday. If you guys want to support,
this Saturday the 26th.
Saturday the 26th, people.
And they're raising funds at fundraising.stjude.org. And you can look for Team Vivian Ruby, R-U-B-Y.
Dude, it was cute when we first saw her. Like she was like a baby, and Isaac was being dropped off. She was just looking at Lisa like a little baby, like, who is that lady?
I know, because she didn't understand the two different homes, that he would go to his mom's home and then come home with her.
We have a very special guest. We have U.S. veteran Hector Barajas. He's our guest. You see the American flag. We're going to get to him in a while. But right now, we got some stuff to talk about. Our podcast might go off the air soon. We don't know what's going to happen unless people start sharing the podcast on iTunes and leaving a little notes, buying our merch. That's how you support the podcast. It's free, man. We're never going to go to Spotify. And if we do, I'm going alone. I ain't taking nobody. And so just to let you guys know, nobody has to move with me. And right now, man, it is very hard to have a podcast, not just for Joe Rogan, Joe Diaz, Rodrigo Torres, Duncan Trussell, Ari Shafir, or anybody, Tom Segura and his wife, Christina P. Man, a lot of people are just digging. Like anybody that gets a little bit of success, people right away go find out what bad stuff you said in your tweets, or what photos you did, or that you ever go on a bad date and not pay for her dinner, stuff like that. So support the podcast, people. Buy our merch. Tweet What's Up Fool Podcast. Even if you're telling your mom Happy Mother's Day, hashtag What's Up Fool Podcast. So everybody can know you support the What's Up Fool Podcast. Our podcast is free on the All Things Comedy Network. Shout out to James Hound, the engineer, Wheels of Steel. Come on, people. If you guys don't support it, how are we going to get more sleeveless penalties for that guy, man? Oh, showing off the guns. What's up? Also, man, I got a lot of feet. Track. Sizzlers is closing, people. That's right.
We're bankrupt, right?
Closing. Sizzlers. That's the place where everybody will go there for quinceañeras, first communions, baptisms, graduations, that was like a neutral ground to meet your baby mama and exchange babies with no drama. You know what? Because nobody's gonna fight over drama when there's a shrimp buffet that's free right now that keeps coming.
All you can eat, dog.
All those Sizzlers, people. I grew up going to Sizzlers on Wilcox and Montebello Boulevard in Montebello.
Hell yeah.
And I used to, even when after I grew up, I used to go work out at Bally's and then go eat at Sizzler by myself and ruin the workout. And then later on, when I became a comedian, a lot of the comics, Rodrigo included, we used to all tear it up like animals, like freaking animals. And my line, Rodrigo, at the Sizzler at Los Feliz.
Yeah, right there, dude. The cheese bread, dog.
You know what's funny? I'm like most people, bro. I put an S on Sizzlers. Like, hey, let's go to Sizzlers. Did you go to Sizzlers growing up, James?
He went to Bennigan's.
Yeah, I did. I remember when they introduced the salad bar, and my dad went ape shit for that fake seafood salad that they had.
It's good though, bro.
It was so good.
I was gonna tell you. You know what? I remember Sizzlers when there was smoking in there, dog.
Wow.
Really?
That must have been a special. Some Sizzlers actually had a bar, huh?
Yeah, dude. They had a bar. Like drop pour drinks.
Did you go to Sizzler, Martin?
Hell yeah, dude. I went there for my when you posted it, I was like, dude, I went for my first communion, man. I remember, dude. the little cakes with the frosting, the vanilla frosting on top. Fuck, dude, that was good, dude.
How about that soft serve, dog?
Hector, where did you grow up at?
I grew up
I went to the one in Alhambra and also the one in Boyle Heights. I would go to though.
All right.
I grew up in Compton, California, so we didn't have a Sizzlers back then.
You guys had Black Angus. Nah, I don't even know.
No, we didn't even have that. No, we didn't.
Tams, eh?
Yeah, in Ohio.
We had Tams. Tacos
Yeah,
Único.
what? Tams?
Tams.
Tams or Tacos Único and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
Don't you guys have that it's like a chain, Dinah's Chicken?
No, it was what was it?
Louisiana.
It's Louisiana fried chicken. Oh, we had that.
Yeah.
That's funny, man. There was a kid on TikTok who said 5 places to avoid in South Central if you're not from South Central. And one of them was Louisiana chicken. He goes, they have great chicken there. But if you look at somebody the wrong way, oh man, you're gonna get punched. Because that's where Paul Rodriguez grew up, also Compton. The CPT. What I remember from Compton back in the 90s was, of course, the race wars.
Oh, yeah.
And it was big. Race wars, Venice Beach, too. I remember Venice, they used to always fight with Santa Monica and at the high schools. And over here in LA, it was the Flats going after the Crips. And that's how we grew up, man, going to Denny's. Well, actually, we never went to Denny's, man. It was always Sizzler. And even in that movie, White Man Can't Jump, with Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson, in the beginning of the movie, when they thought they were going to win, we go, we're going to Sizzler. We're going to Sizzler.
It was a commercial, right?
Lisa, you grew up with a different type of Sizzler, right?
Oh, it wasn't Sizzler, it was Ponderosa.
Yeah, some people mentioned the Ponderosa.
Yeah, Ponderosa was a steakhouse, and they had the same thing, the salad bar, ice cream, whatever station, and all that stuff. It was the same thing. And then Sizzler started to come around, and I think, I'm not sure if I'm right about this, but I think they bought up Ponderosa when they went out of business.
Oh, wow.
They bought up those chains. There's only 14 originally owned or company-owned Sizzler, and I guess 93 franchises in the country. They're almost gone.
Whoa.
Damn.
2 years ago, there were like 400, but I think they said they're going to try to renegotiate the leases for these buildings, the 14 at least that they control. They're going to try to renegotiate leases. They have been having to pay rent since March and haven't been open.
Damn.
Probably because of COVID. Is that why they're going out of business, or?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because they haven't been able to open, and people don't want fucking that food for takeout. That's not a place.
They do.
can't go to the salad bar. Their whole business is the salad bar, the shared community.
Oh man, I
People.
saw this Anthony Bourdain episode where I think he hooked up with Danny Cho.
David Cho.
David Cho.
Yeah.
And David Cho took him to one of the other Sizzlers I used to go to. The one over there on Chateau by Chateau Park
In
and Chateau
Koreatown.
Lanes, where the bowling balls are all cracked, and all the balls. Some of the balls, people scratch their gang name on them, bro.
Oh shit!
Representing on those
Hey,
lanes.
but you know what? It's still one of the best bowling alleys to go right now. If you're looking for old school style bowling, like Big Lebowski or Kingpin, like that style, where that's the one to go to right now. Me and Lisa, when we were drinking, man, they would serve White Russians, bro, in a little glass, and that little glass had like a little plastic around it because it was cold. I don't know if you've seen that before. If anybody here likes to drink.
That's K-Town, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Koreatown.
Oh yeah.
Koreatown.
Crazy.
And then they had horrible food though, but I used to still eat it. And what did they had chicken nuggets, burgers. This little Asian lady made it.
Pizza.
But what they did have on the side, they have an original Pepsi machine.
Oh
Where you
wow.
put your money and the little pebble ice, what's it called? Shaved ice comes out.
Oh.
And the little cup comes down. The
You're
little
talking
cup
about crushed ice. Yeah.
the little cup comes down, ice, and then the Pepsi.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, dude. Bowling alley food is good but bad at the same time.
But the parking lot of Chateau Lanes, man, you better have backup and hold your lady's hand because they could respect that you were the couple.
Crazy.
What's up, fool? 3 years ago, was it 3 years ago, Lisa, when we tried to do the Tijuana special,
Tijuana special.
the documentary?
Oh yeah, it was 2 years ago, I think. When we went down to Mexico.
Yeah.
That was 2018, so 2 years ago.
2 years
Crazy.
ago.
That was summer 2018. It's crazy.
I had my surgery later that year. Yeah.
So we were in Tijuana, Mexico. We were trying to shoot a documentary. We Airbnb'd it in some hotel room where there was a loose rabbit running around.
Super
His name
cute. Man.
His name was Romeo. So Lisa flipped him over and find out he's actually Juliet. It was a
That was
girl
a cute
bunny.
little rabbit, yeah. No, they were calling it Juliet. I flipped him
Oh
over.
yeah.
He had a little penis. He was Romeo.
Yeah, they were calling him Juliet. And he said, no, he's Romeo.
Yeah.
And that was my first time in Tijuana in a long time, man.
Super
I
fun.
ain't gonna lie, man. I was a little scared because we got robbed for our cameras or our
I
batteries.
could feel your tension. They broke into the SUV that the production crew had. They stole all their cameras, all their batteries, all their lenses, everything. And it was a rental car too. So
Came
the
up.
It's because
parents on,
they saw his American license plates, you know? I think that's why.
I think they saw when we first showed up and they already set it up.
Yeah, they saw us leave it and everything. I think it was a setup too. That security woman, the police officer or whatever, she was like, she didn't even care. And they saw the whole thing. Apparently, they used a gun to break it open.
Pistol whip it.
She saw
That guy
that.
goes, that guy said, no sé qué pasó, pero creo que lo quebraron con algo muy fuerte.
Yeah, he had all the details.
Like, had a detail of how what type of weapon they broke it with, but
Yeah.
he didn't do nothing.
And
An artist sketch.
the producer was so like sad and just devastated, dude. It was crazy. Or the guy that was directing it.
He was mad. He wanted to leave, huh?
Yeah, dude. And I was like, man.
That
they
was
couldn't
one of
go-
those. Yeah, so yeah, one of those things was his personal.
Yeah.
He was really pissed because I don't.
Damn.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a new production company in Tijuana now.
Yeah.
And I told them, we can finish it, man. They finished The Crow without Brandon Lee, man. We can do it.
So we're over there and we're like interviewing everybody. So we ran across these guys right here. I hope you can see them in the photo, everybody.
Kind of.
There you go. we run into those crazy guys, eh? And I interviewed them. Put it this way, I did like a 20-minute stand-up comedy show for them on the side of the wall. And we were just talking about LA. And this guy right here, the older guy, he's like 73 years old. He was deported from Echo Park. And he was just, that's the guy I always talk about, the one that was coming out of Echo Park. He was buying a gallon of leche, un galón de leche, y me llevaron, estaba diciendo nada. Anyway, there was a shootout, and this fool, he just buying a gallon of milk. So you know how the police are. They're going to check everybody's ID. Even if we don't catch the killer, we're going to take somebody here for warrants.
They did. He was rounded up with everybody else on the sidewalk, on that side of the street. And then they found that his paperwork, that I guess
one of the early guys.
Yeah.
Like, he was barely there 5 months. So when we're talking, and they told us about Hector Barajas, and they gave us the card, your card. Actually, one of the guys gave us your card, the skinnier one. I think he's from Long Beach.
He was
So let's introduce Hector Barajas, U.S. veteran. What's up, sir? How are you?
Hey, how's it going, Felipe? Excited to be here, and it's actually out of curiosity, what did you guys do with the documentary thing? Did anything come out of it?
What? Lisa, tell him.
It wasn't a documentary. It was a pilot we were shooting for. We were trying to get a show with a production company. They had the idea to do comedy along the border. So comedy shows along the border, but also meeting people along the way. And Felipe would interview people from both sides of the border, on the U.S. side and the Mexico side, all along Trump's proposed border wall.
Oh, wow.
That was the whole thing, but didn't get picked up. We pitched it to several places, several outlets, but didn't work out.
Relive it. Maybe it might get picked up again.
Yeah, but that was one just short segment that Felipe ran into those guys on the beach, and they were talking. He gave them all $50, I think. Didn't you give me your per diem money?
Yeah, because they gave me like $150.
Those guys can't work down there either.
$50 a day. I'll get it $50 a day or $150 for 2 days. I don't know. So I said, you know what, man? He goes, normally I would give this to the wounded warriors, but you guys needed more. Yeah, I give them $50 each, and I don't know what they make in Mexico, but I felt like these guys need. I mean, if I had more, I would have given them more. But I just felt it in my heart, like, you know what? A big torta and a Coca-Cola and chips sounds good right now.
And those guys weren't out there begging or anything.
We're not begging at all.
Talking.
You can get a lot more for $50, but normal wage is probably probably less than $20 a day.
Yeah, my brother makes $75 a week, I think, maybe, or 100.
Normal wage is about $100, something like that. I mean, you literally, if you go buy a hamburger special at McDonald's, you just spend all your money, for that you worked on all day. So it's kind of crazy out here.
Yeah, we were right there on the Tijuana beach.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny when we were when we were talking to people, we got to know some people there, and then I guess we heard word on the streets that some of those people that were homeless, I don't know if they're homeless, but they're getting ready to cross the border illegally. They were telling us that they were going to take off at one time if you want to go interview them. And I said, nah, we're good. So they have a plan. We don't want to ruin that plan.
Yeah, it's crazy. People actually either jump the fence or they try to swim around, but some people end up actually dying because it's the current. Some people underestimate the current, but Trump could build the walls, but we'll get over it or under it. And then somebody made a joke that if they put crocodiles, we're gonna end up making boots out of them. So no matter what they do, we'll still do something out of it, right?
There'll be a band called Los Largatos del Border.
Yeah, there you go.
So tell us about what happened to you and how you got started with this organization and everything.
Sure. So, I basically, I came to the United States at a young age, like a lot of immigrants, and grew up like any other American kid. You guys are, I didn't do the Sizzler thing. We in Compton, we had Compton in the 90s was just rough. I mean, you went into a liquor store and it's one of the few cities that where you'll have like the mirror thing or the bulletproof glass and stuff like that. But it's my experience that as a young kid, and eventually I ended up wanting to join the military because I wanted to get away from my environment and also just do something different. I didn't see myself going any in a good direction, and I ended up enlisting for 4 years, re-enlisting for another 3. I ended up doing 6 years, served as a paratrooper with the 82nd Airborne. Eventually got out, and then it's like actually a long story. And I ended up as soon as I got in the military, I started doing drugs, alcohol, and stuff like that, and ended up just going downhill, and ended up catching a case where somebody discharged a weapon, and ended up going to prison. Got picked up by immigration after I served my sentence, and got sent to Arizona. From there, I fought my case for a year, and as soon as I was deported, I snuck back in. But laid low. I mean, that's what any good American patriot would do, right? But
Got to get back home, dog.
What's that?
Got to get back home, bro.
Get back home. And
Hector, you were in Eloy, Arizona, huh?
exactly. Yeah.
When my brother, who we had on a podcast before, he got arrested and used my other brother's identity, and then my brother, he got pulled over randomly, right? His ID came up, man. He said, "What happened, man? They arrested me. Like I was in the top 10 most wanted people."
Oh.
And,
Wow.
and my brother tried to tell him, "That's not me." And he went all the way to Eloy, Arizona.
Really?
I think they held him for 3 months, didn't they?
3 months.
Damn.
Yeah.
Crazy. Well, I mean, it happened.
Look at my
Because his
brother.
name was on the record.
And my brother, my brother's gay, right? But I guess in there, he must have toughened up because when later on I was doing shows, I ran into a homies. Hey man, I was with your brother, bro, in Eloy. And then my brother told me, yeah, I ran into 3 guys that knew you from rehab and another guy from comedy. And then that's it. I'm glad he came out all right, bro. So my brother's 6'2", man, he could fight.
Yeah, there you go. And the good thing about depending on the detention centers, but there's in prison, there's a lot of politics too. I mean, it's you talk about the race wars in the 90s, but in prison, it's just, man, you gotta walking on eggshells. But it's an interesting experience, being going through that whole process and not having any support. When I was going through this, I actually thought I was the only person that was getting deported. Not that as soon as they find out that I'm in the service, they're gonna let me go. And they just said, I remember the judge said, "Thank you for your service. You can appeal," but I know I was going to be in there for another couple of years, and I just said, you know what, I don't want to be detained anymore. And I snuck back in and just laid low for a couple of years. Started a family, and eventually I got caught in 2009 for a traffic violation, and I got deported for life in 2010. And
For life?
Yeah. I got a life deportation in 2009, and it was tough because I had a daughter back then. Well, I mean, she's 15-year-old right now, but it was literally, like, if you come back, you're looking at federal prison. I know guys that a couple of vets. One guy in particular did 11 years in the feds just for intending to try to go across. I mean, that's the penalty for trying to go back illegally, or some people get 3 years depending on the person. So I just decided to stay in Tijuana and try to do it the right way. I was just getting tired of getting pulled over all the time and getting my car impounded and always having to look over my back and stuff like that, and not being able to tell anybody that, hey, I'm like on Veterans Day, hey, I'm a veteran, So I started using social media and connecting with people, organizing. The next, I started with a small list of veterans, and right now I have a veterans facing deportation to 50-something countries. We think it's thousands of people that have been deported, but we don't really know because of Homeland Security doesn't track or they don't ask you whether you're a veteran. But I started the support outside of my apartment, and really didn't have any goals or idea where I was going with that. And it just, through all the people that I met and my experiences and different things, it ended up turning into a resource center. We started connecting with legislators. We've done tons of media and documentaries, and just through that work, I was able to connect with ACLU and connected with another attorney, and they found out that I technically wasn't supposed to have been deported. And we started with that. And through the process, we reached out to Governor Brown, and he pardoned me for the crime. And literally I had no criminal record. So by law, they had to give me citizenship, even though it took me 4 years to get it, because it was just like a long process where they would deny me this, deny me that. And up until like when I was about to cross the border for my interview, after they told me I was going to get my citizenship, this right-wing newspaper had printed that I had crossed the border illegally more than I had told Homeland Security, and they were literally going to not let me go across to my appointment if I lied to them. But we did.
But they support the troops, huh?
There you go.
They support the troops.
It's interesting enough that most people don't know this, but by law, like all the undocumented immigrants, let's say there's 5 million that are like of age that can go to war. If there's a draft, they're going to be drafted. So it's interesting that, yeah, during peacetime, we're not going to draft you or we don't need you. But if there's a war and we need bodies, and we've drafted, I think World War II was over 200,000 immigrants. A lot of them were obviously Latinos and, Mexicanos. But yeah, I was able to, when I became a citizen on April 13th, 2018. And actually when you guys were out here, I was doing something, some kind of event in LA or somewhere else, and I was and the guys told me that you had visited them or that they had talked to you, and so I'm just glad we can connect here. Unfortunately, with COVID and everything going on, it's through Zoom, but it's technology is amazing though.
Yes, it is, man.
But that's just kind of like a gist of it. But I've been through homelessness, addiction, suicide situations. I've been harassed by cops. We've had men that have been killed by cartels. We had all kind of different situations. It's just been a difficult road, and thank God that I'm home. But we still have like hundreds of people that we need to bring home, and hopefully we can change these laws.
So when you got to Mexico, did you have your choice of where in Mexico they were gonna take you, where you had to go back to, and where did you have any family there or anybody that you knew at all?
So the first time I got deported to Nogales, and the only thing I remember is that literally like they just took me to like some gate, and I don't even remember like somebody saying, "Welcome to Mexico. Here's your, this is where you gotta go." They just like open the gate and that was it, and then close it behind you. The second time they did have like a place where they received you, but as soon as you left the gate, you were on your own. And I hadn't been to TJ in a long time either. And when I'm like, oh fuck, TJ, like in the midnight, so I was like scared, like, oh shit, anything could happen. But everything turned out fine. But interesting enough, one of the things that that immigration does do is they try to send you to different locations. That way it makes it harder for you to cross it, because if they throw you back to Tijuana where you got your people, well then it's going to be harder for you. So it's going to be easier for you, but if they throw you through another border, it'll just make it harder for you to go. So they do kind of implement that. It's very rare that they're we're going to deport you to this specific location.
Yeah. And so there's no tracking then from on the Mexican side of who's coming in either.
Not, it's interesting. They're not. Yeah, no, they're not. Because if you have, there's people that I know that are like, pedophiles and stuff like that through, the work that I do. And they don't alert the authorities that, hey, this person has molested 2-3 kids. And I think that's something important, that whether it's a veteran or whatever, you should really inform the people that, where you're saying.
Yeah.
Not everybody's like that, but it's just, the situations like that.
But there's no communication from the U.S. saying, hey, here's who's coming back to your country, and this is their record, or this is why they're, getting out. There's no that. like
Yeah,
that.
as far as I know, they don't. It's usually just the person's like his name or his basic information, and that's about it.
No.
Because when I did my background check in Mexico, like it comes up clean. I have no criminal record or anything like that in Mexico. And they don't take into account the United States.
Yeah. Crazy.
What's up, Food Podcast? If you're just joining in, I see a lot of people who are just joining in, don't know what the hell we're talking about. They think we're talking to Joe Rogan. What's up, Food Podcast? We have Hector Barajas, formerly deported U.S. veteran, now a U.S. American citizen. He ain't going back. And we're talking to him. He's telling us the story that he was deported various times. He made it to Eloy, and Lisa asked him about how was it like to live in Nogales. When you went back to Mexico, and they gave you the deported for life, you can't come in. What was like? What? Because you're talking about they just threw you out there in the woods. They threw you out in the woods, no cash, no money, no prospects. How are they? Probably no family. Like a lot of people think that when they say go back, they actually think that we have people waiting for us out there. Ain't nobody waiting for us, eh? There's nobody gonna give us no flowers, eh? Like the Beatles, You go out there, man. They look at you immediately like a traitor. I feel like el pocho. I mean el pocho.
Yeah.
They don't care about anything about what you did in the United States. Just like they don't care about anything you did in Mexico when you came to America. It's like you gotta start fresh at the bottom, man. And how long was the process from the day you got there? Like, what was your mindset, man? Because I know for me, I don't know what I'm gonna do, man. Start punching people in Mexico.
I mean, it took many years to, actually I have a lot of, like I have el escudo de Mexico and this and that. One thing is, so I was very proud to be Mexican before I got deported. When I got deported and I had to live as a Mexican, I was like, fuck that. I hate it. I mean,
hell yeah, dog.
It's one thing to visit Tijuana and buy some tacos, go to Adelitas, whatever you're gonna do. But there's a difference between
Raise the roof at Hong Kong.
There you go.
Chicago.
But there's a difference between you're gonna stay here, you're not gonna get your Social Security money, you're not gonna get your benefits. Then you have to live like a Mexicano, like an everyday, person. And if you don't have money or if you don't have let's say your parents are well off or maybe family members, and yeah, you're gonna be suffering. So for many years I struggled with it, and that's something that I actually I feel good about being in Mexico now. I might end up retiring over here, but but it's just I struggled with being in Mexico and I just there's a lot of things that people think the United States is screwed up. I mean, try living in Mexico. I mean, it's the bureaucracy and all. I mean, but there, you won't find a perfect country. Most of the guys, no matter where they're at, they'll tell you that they love the United States. I met guys from all over the world and visited places like Costa Rica, Haiti, Dominican Republic, where I visit these guys and they love the United States. It's their home, But yeah, there's like I said, there's a difference between visiting Mexico and having some tacos and then going back, as opposed to like you're gonna live here, you're gonna start fresh. So it's interesting how yo andaba muy Mexicano and this and that, and when they sent me, I was like, oh no, like I don't want to go to Mexico. And but it was a
No way, Dad.
there you go. But I learned more about what people go through, what Mexicanos go through the system here, and so it was a kind of a way to kind of find my identity, is also about what it means to be an American, because I think Americans take a lot of things for granted. Well, some people take things for granted. I mean, phrase that. So it was interesting.
Did you take anything for granted? What did you miss the most? What did you realize?
When I'm in the United States, I just feel this peace about just like I know I'm not gonna get if I go like in the middle, I mean, yeah, I think anything could happen, right? But I don't have to worry about cartels and fucking like cops, taking my my money, or just it's there's a lot of havoc. Mexico está bonito. It's beautiful. But even where I'm from in Zacatecas, like back in the days, you wouldn't hear about bodies here and bodies that. And right now, it's you can't even go out and at night and walk from one rancho to the other because there's a lot of stuff going on. So it's pretty dangerous for a lot of people. And but it like I said, Mexico is muy bonito. I love the culture. I love my people. But it's a lot of, I mean, Mexico's going through a lot of struggles right now with the cartels and a lot of instability in the economy and stuff like that.
Did we hear, Felipe, was it Jamaica or was it Dominican Republic? One of those places had the most deported veterans that were.
Where are the places where your program is? Because I know that when we were talking to those veterans in Tijuana at the border, the ones I met, they told me that there's one in Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, and then somewhere in South America.
So we have a lot of Dominicans, a lot of Canadians, a lot of Jamaicans. Yeah. A lot of guys from Switzerland. I have a guy in Switzerland. Interesting enough. British. We have guys like Brits or whatever you want to call them.
Crazy.
Deported British guys who fought for America and now they're deported back to
It's interesting.
England.
Those are red coats, eh?
And they grew up here. All these guys you're talking about, they grew up with the American lifestyle, right?
Exactly.
So that must be crazy, man. Like, you grew up in America, and now you gotta go back to Europe, Britain, or the Dominican Republic, and you feel like you're owed something, because you fought. At least I always felt like if a person commits a crime, whether he's a veteran or not, if he's an American citizen, he should be allowed to serve his time in America, and when he gets out, come out to America like everybody else.
And that's
sad,
and that's what normally happens if you're a veteran from born here. You do your time and then you go outside and you get your benefits, you get treatment in courts. But one of the things that happens too that people don't talk about is also that, especially the combat vets, a lot of these guys suffer trauma, or they might have seen things that that pretty much has affected them their lives, and then they turn to drugs, alcohol, or maybe become more violent. And so some of these things can be attributed to the service. And I made stupid mistakes. I put myself in a situation where I got into a vehicle where there was a gun, and I don't even play with water guns anymore. But I mean, I made stupid mistakes. But some of these guys, I mean, they're literally affected by war, by fighting in Afghanistan or Vietnam, and we need to definitely if you hit your wife, maybe go to domestic violence classes depending on the severity of it, and if you hit your wife again, well, it's time for you to go to county jail or state prison. But I think there should be a level of that, but definitely not deport somebody.
Well, I think the problem is also that if you're going strictly by the letter, and you are here illegally, undocumented, you don't have the same leeway to live life, as this person who was born here. So the smallest, I think technically, even if you have an alcohol problem or have to go to rehab or something, technically that could be grounds for not allowing you to become a citizen, or for having you get deported, actually, I should say. Like, they can find all sorts of technicalities when they want to. And it's sad because somebody who came here at 5 years old, and Felipe came here at 5, you come here at such a young age, you didn't have the choice to come here. It wasn't your decision. And then you can't even make a mistake that citizens make every day. Maybe it's a DUI. Maybe it's not saying that those crimes are okay, but maybe it's a DUI, or maybe it's having to go to rehab, or an alcohol problem, or whatever it might be, or PTSD coming back from the war, and you have a domestic dispute with your wife. So, you just don't have the same chances to stumble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Not enough. Most of my guys did have some kind of legal status, but there are various men that that didn't have a green card or stuff like that. A lot of the Vietnam vets that I worked with were actually drafted. I mean, there's one guy in particular, he says he didn't even know English when they sent him to boot camp. And then he sent out to Vietnam. But, these guys decided not to run to Canada like some people did. They stayed and they fought. And when they come back, they're like, well, you screwed up. It's like you're not wanted here anymore. So I find that kind of, I find that disturbing, actually. I find that disturbing.
These guys, the one that we met, is there they were talking about, there's like a little community where they live together?
Sure. So right here at the bunker, we actually have, at one point we did house a lot of the guys. So I've had up to like 8 men. And then there's guys that live in the surrounding areas. So Jose actually lives about 3 blocks from here. And he's already starting his process to go home as well. And Jack, one of the other guys that's in the picture, actually went home in 2019. So he's actually
What's up? Hell yeah!
The guy from Echo Park?
One of the guys in the picture, and I thought he was never going to go home because of his case, and man, he went faster than I did.
Jack, I don't know if it was Jack, but one of them, he was just driving, and there was a gun in the car.
Yeah, Jack. Yeah,
Jack, and he was like, "Hey," and he was like, and he's a little, he's shell shocked, I guess. That guy, he's seen a lot of shit.
Yeah, so Jack went home, and then Alex is also in the process of working his case again. And so Jose's actually in his close to 80 almost already.
Damn, Jose's the one from Echo Park.
He was a limo driver for Sharon Stone.
Yeah, he said something like that.
Crazy.
Yeah, he was telling us that. He was, man, for being that old and being deported, he's very jovial. He's still full of life, not bitter. He had like, I don't know, he had like, because before he said goodbye, he said, anything you want to tell anybody at Echo Park, hey, don't count me out, eh? I'll be back.
He's got a wonderful personality, but imagine being deported. When I got deported, I was a young man. I had the most difficult part was being away from my daughter. But imagine, I mean, you're close to 80 years old. You're stripped of your Social Security. I mean, he didn't have anybody here.
You can't get a job down there. Like,
yeah, you can't get a job. So it was tough for him. Fortunately, we were able to get him his benefits, but not everybody has the same luck or has contact with us. But I mean, it's like a death sentence. I mean, I think he's gonna go home. They started his process, but I know a lot of men that have not gone. They've died from heart attacks or different situations, car accidents, and once they pass, they're taken back to the United States. They're giving a full military honors funeral, and that's what the irony in it, that you're being honored.
You could die here.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
So you get deported in Mexico, and if you passed away over there, you still get a whole U.S. military funeral in Mexico or United States?
Wherever you want to be buried. You want to be buried in Mexico? I have guys that are like, fuck that, I don't want to go back to the United States. Mexico.
Before I heard about you and I met those guys, and before I went to Tijuana, there was a guy, I don't know if it was you, or there was a guy that was dressed up all military out standing at the border in Juarez, I think, like this.
There might have been Ivan.
Yeah, he was like a sergeant or something.
Yeah, sergeant.
Decorated guy from the Gulf War, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro, when he stood up there, bro, let me tell you, man, I got chills, man. Because it felt like, remember that Vietnam, I don't know, it was a soldier, and he's playing the trumpet, and you can see tears coming out.
Mm-hmm.
At the Vietnam, he was a bugle player, a black guy, and he's playing the
taps.
The taps. And it was Vietnam, and you can see his tears come out, When he was standing right there like a real soldier. Like right there, man. He was just standing there, man, like that took a lot of balls, man. To be deported as a U.S. veteran and still hold it down on Memorial Day. at the other side of the border, and you still have to walk back to Mexico dressed like that and not give a fuck, man. I hope it's in America now, man.
Unfortunately, Ivan's still in Juarez, but he's a great guy. He's doing a lot of advocacy.
Shout out to Ivan.
No. And you know what one of the things that you mentioned is that I remember wearing my uniform many times as well, and people would tell me that you're a traitor. They don't. The people here in Mexico will look at you as like if you're a traitor because you went off and fought for the gringos. Eso es lo que te pasa por besar el culo a los gringos, and I get all kind of stupid comments. So it's like people don't want you here and they don't want you over there. It's just kind of like that was kind of interesting, and it usually happens in all the comments whenever we do a news article or something like that.
Wow. Are there women who have been deported, and did they have any sort of support group or support system that's growing?
Yeah, we have a couple of women. One in particular, she doesn't want to tell her story, but I went to Costa Rica, I think in 2019, to meet one of the women that I work with, and so she has her full benefits, and we're also working on her case. But yeah, women, are interesting. They go through I think for a woman it's more difficult, especially when you have children. They have more attachment, I believe, than men, because they carry the baby inside them, and so it's difficult when you're separated from your children and being a mother. But she's holding up pretty well, and we try to help her any way we can.
I mean, you don't see the same amount of, a large amount of women the same way you see the men.
No, definitely, just because of in the military, there's just
the military in general. Okay. So
What's up, fool? We got Martin Rizzo over there. He's in trouble. He's about to get deported too.
What happened, fool?
I'm scared, bro.
Oh man, it baffles me, man. Like, I'm not even a veteran, but I could get deported too.
You
I
could.
don't know if you guys remember history, a little bit of history, but in the 1920s, they actually deported like millions of Mexicanos, and a lot of those people there's a percentage that were citizens. And
Eisenhower?
That's the Repatriation Act, right?
What's that?
Repatriation Act or something like
they called it. Yeah, but yeah, it was crazy.
Rodrigo knows. He's a history major. What is it, Rodrigo?
I don't know.
Is that what they showed in that movie Mi Familia, where people got deported?
Yeah.
It's called the Adios Act.
But they did show it in Mi Familia. Right?
It's called
Repatriation Act.
I think later on, Arnold Schwarzenegger called it "Hasta la vista, babies."
See you later, baby.
Oh man! Shout out to Rodrigo.
What's up, fool?
He gave me a funny ass meme today of Johann Sebastian Bach with Arnold Schwarzenegger face, and he said, "I'll be Bach."
Fool! I lost a couple of them that I was gonna send your ass, dog.
Oh, that was actually there was one in 1954 that was called Operation Wetback.
Yeah, there you go.
1954. It was the director of the U.S. INS in cooperation with the Mexican government.
They didn't even hold back on the racist slur, right?
Short-lived operation. They used military-style tactics to remove Mexican immigrants, some of them even American citizens, from the U.S.
Why though?
I don't know here. Hold on.
Oh, because that was during the Depression, no?
It was 54.
Oh,
they would
okay.
stop the illegal entry of Mexican laborers into the U.S. And also legal entry for employment was controlled by the Bracero program at the time.
Damn.
I read a real sad story about the Braceros. Those were the Americans, the Mexicans that came to work for the United States with partnership with Mexico and the United States. They allowed these thousands of workers to come in, and then as soon as their job is over, they go back to Mexico. When I used to have the History Channel app, I will put location, and it'll give me like the history of that location, like whether there was a battle of Mexico, United States. It'll let me know, or there was a battle of the burning of a black town, it'll let me know. So when I Googled over there by Celia, San Joaquin Valley, a plane full of balaceros crashed leaving over there. And everybody died. And let me tell you, man, I bet you those checks they had, somebody kept them, eh?
Damn.
It was crazy, man. It must have been like overpacked or something.
Iran Contra, maybe they bought some cocaine with it, right? There you go.
Get a little bag, bro.
There you go.
What war were you in, Hector?
So I was in from 95 to 2001. I didn't serve in combat. I was in during wartime service.
Desert Storm, the first one.
No, it was during 9/11 actually.
Oh wow!
If I hadn't served during that time, I wouldn't be here because I wouldn't be able to naturalize. There was like there's like this little clause that if you served during the wartime era that you could become a citizen, and you don't have to have like a green card or none of that stuff. So that's why I was able to become a citizen. So the immigration system is very complex, and nobody helps you when you're in the military. Now they're changing those things a little bit, but
yeah, I would think that's crazy that they don't help people go further with their green card and with their paperwork and all that stuff to complete the process, because even a normal person who hasn't been through war or military or anything like that, they have a hard time filling out paperwork and keeping up deadlines and things. I can't imagine coming back with PTSD and having to fill out my paperwork to do anything.
And deal with the bureaucracy.
Yeah. And you know what? I've heard people say, oh, I always get all kind of stupid comments, but even military people say, oh, we're not there to hold your hand. Should take stuff. Like, well, we do hold your hand. We hold your hand on how to shine your boots, on how to use a rifle. So why not hold this person's hand to make sure that he becomes a citizen before he gets out of the military?
I know, like they should have that program for every military, like who goes in there with a resident alien card. They should be like a side class helping them get paperwork to citizenship, because that should be done now. Because the NFL, and we're talking the NFL players, for many years, all the NFL players were squander their money, and then when they retire, zero. They're bodyguards now. They're security guards. They got bad hips. And now, even before you join, before you put on a helmet, there's already a class where they teach you how to money manage, so you won't lose all your money.
That's smart, man.
And you don't have to go, but it's filled with everybody there, and they have actual football players who lost all their money. Talk about don't fuck up.
Wow. One of the things that happens too is when we got our green cards, it was permanent residence. So you really don't understand the laws of it, or what, how you can lose it, and I know a lot of people that they're like, oh, I'm not gonna get citizenship, and then something stupid happens and you find yourself getting deported. But it's important for Latinos to become citizens so we can make a make our vote count. Shouldn't be talking politics, but make your vote count. We need to make changes in this country, and so we need to make sure that people get informed and start voting.
For reals, because my mom always took care of my green card status, right, when I was a kid. And of course, you go out there and grow up, go messing around your whole life, doing drugs, partying like a stoner, having a good time, going to Mexico, back and forth. I never knew that that shit expires.
Or it could have been taken away from you. You could have been deported. Seriously. If you would have got help or something.
Like Hector, I remember I filled out my green card, and that motherfucking green card never showed up.
Wow.
And then I went me and Lee, that was one time, but the second time it never showed up again. And I went to go tell, me and Lisa went over there, and I said, well, it left the post office, but it never came to my house. So somebody at the post office must have opened it and kept it or something.
We think there was some sort of,
Are you a citizen now? No?
Of Boyle Heights.
Is that?
No,
you better go get it.
we have to clean some things up that were supposed to be removed many years ago.
Yeah, you got to be careful because I mean, like
Because we can't go applying right now with.
little stupid things like even filling out.
An error on your application will fuck you up.
Yeah. You can get deported. I know guys
An
that.
error on the government application, right?
Yeah, dude.
I know, like if you put the wrong date of entry, toma way.
Everything has to be legit, dude. Everything has to add up and match up. I have a friend that works for the immigration services under the umbrella of the Homeland Security or Department of Homeland Security, and he said any error can just set you back. That's applying for citizenship legally. Sets you back 10 years.
Shut the
No matter,
fuck
you
up.
can't apply just for a little error. If it's the wrong date, a wrong letter in a name, anything.
Hey, Rizzo, your mother's citizen or?
I think she just became a citizen like 10 years ago. I remember she did her test right there at what's it called? At
At the library.
Yeah.
The consulate?
Oh, boy, it took her a long time to do all that stuff.
That's it. So you better be careful with what you say from now on.
Yeah.
Seriously, what you say can keep you from being a citizen. Like
Dude, he told me that my friend told me even a neighbor's gossip can screw you over. Where you used to live at.
You can be denied if they think you're a drunkard. There's also a good moral character thing I think that they have too. I don't know if it's for regular residents, but for the military.
It's almost like a background check. It's trippy.
Yeah. So,
If you're trying to go take a citizenship class with a tattooed face, it's gonna be tough.
It's gonna raise some flags for sure.
Man, you better walk in there with a Hawaiian t-shirt saying I'm a Maori and I eat fire.
Work at the freak show, bro.
Hey, how do those Amish people do it where they don't go when they're born, they don't go get registered? How do they?
Oh, those fools are registered, dog.
Yeah, they know who they are, bro.
No, if they leave like the
they
Amish
keep track of every horse carriage, bro.
Those fools have TVs too, dog. Don't let them fool you, dog.
But when they leave like their towns, like, can they get like they don't have any paperwork? Can they get deported or?
I'm sure they do their paperwork.
I'm gonna answer like Toby Hicks. They white, Martin.
You know what? One of the odd things that I remember when I would think of immigration, I would think of my tío that's crossing the border, and when I got there, I was like, there was Ethiopians, there was Canadians, there was guys from Portugal. They were like
all over Asia too, right?
There were white people. There was guys that were like literally white, like, you know. So it was a shocker for me because I learned that, you know, like, I mean, anybody could be deported. And it was just like for stupid things. I mean, it was crazy. So it was
what's the most dumbest thing you saw somebody get deported for?
Say filling out some paperwork, like, you know, like saying that you were a citizen or that you, or just weird stuff like that, you know, like. So yeah, you can get deported for that.
Damn.
They're not playing, bro.
No.
And then even like immigration law is a whole little sublet of itself, a whole little world, right?
Yeah, and they actually started Donald Trump started Homeland Security started some kind of thing where they're going and they're trying to take people's citizenship away.
Yeah.
So they're actually they got like this task force where they're trying to see if you lied about something or this and that. So it's
I'm waiting to fill out all the paperwork.
So,
We're waiting to see what happens.
Hopefully you can November 4th.
Yeah, when I, you know,
how could you're talking about taking away naturalized citizen or an actual U.S. citizen?
Naturalized citizen. Yeah.
Oh, naturalized. Okay.
I mean, when I went, I mean, I had to like talk about my substance abuse, drug. You know, at one point I was using cocaine and this and that, and just all kind of stuff. So I had to talk about. Then also they try to deny me because so I grew up in Compton. I was involved in gang activity, and but I was never like a hardcore, you know, guy in this there. So they asked me if I still had contacts with a lot of the guys that I grew up with, or people
Oh my God.
that were gang members. I'm like, yeah, well, you know, guys that get deported from my neighborhood that I grew up in, or there's some of the vets were from gangs, and they were trying to deny me because for good moral character because of because I continued to supposedly be involved in gang. I'm like, no, we're not. You know, when I talk to these guys, we're not plotting the next drive-by. You know, we're talking. We grew up together. You know, we're from the same neighborhood, and that's about it. You know, so it gets. I mean, I went through this. I went through I went through it.
So you say that, and then they say, so you're acquainted.
There you go.
Horrible, bro.
So you were in Nogales. Did you make it out to Tijuana or you stood in Nogales?
So the first time I got deported to Nogales, and then I went to Zacatecas.
That's where Rodrigo's from, Zacatecas.
My parents are from there.
Oh, really? I'm from Fresnillo.
Dude, I have family that lives over there. They're from Valparaiso.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Let's go. Yeah. And then I ended up sneaking back in, and the second time I got deported to TJ, and I just decided to stay in Tijuana.
And I was going to ask you earlier when you mentioned that, like, when you get thrown back there, you don't have no hookups, you can't get a job, nothing. But it's funny because over here, people think that, like, you're like Cheech, you're born in East LA. You hop over and you start working at a bar, you start saving money. It doesn't happen that way, dude.
No, it's not that easy. It's
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you have to go get your. Actually, where they see Deported as like, especially the border towns, like the only places where you want it are maybe the call centers or like a
telemarketing and shit.
Yeah. But actually, the tourism's gone down like big time. So, it just depends on. But a lot of the call centers is something that they do.
Yeah, that's what Joel said. He's training some people at call centers now.
My brother does that.
His
Really?
new job, yeah, his brother.
Sí, güey, yo lo trené, güey.
Yeah, that's
And
go ahead.
And where you at right now, Hector?
So right now I'm in Tijuana. So I'm still. When I got my citizenship, I told the guys that I would commit myself to another year to continuing the work, and I'm going on 2 years. But I finally had to regroup, and I might get my full benefits. So if that happens, I got all these ideas about what I'm gonna do. But
Right on.
Right now I'm just gonna refocus and take care of like my financial situation. I didn't even get my driver's license when I got back. The first thing I did was go to DC and here and then went on a little speaking tour. But it's time to take care of me and focus on my daughter and kind of regrouping in that area.
And Hector, do you have? Is there a way people can donate, whether it's money or supplies? You have several.
You go buy that shirt, merch.
Yeah, stuff like that. What kind of? How can people help?
Sure. So people can visit our website, deportedveteransupporthouse.net. I'll share it with you guys, and then also they can find us on social media. There's a couple of documentaries that we're on. There's a Drake produced documentary on Showtime, and then I came out on Immigration Nation on Netflix, and I've done like every major media from Playboy to New York Times, everything. I got a full page spread on Playboy. So.
I remember seeing you on Vice a long time ago.
Yeah, I've been on Vice like 2 or 3 times. So I've done a lot of media, a lot of exposure, but still a lot of people don't know that this is happening, which is very important. With Felipe's, he's got a big outreach of people. I remember when he tagged me on something, I got like dozens and dozens of people that were like reaching out to me. And so he's got it's important for us.
That's a movie right there, bro.
There you go.
Rambo 6. He goes to Mexico and he grabs all the U.S. veterans and they fight the cartels and they fight Red Wing militia to get back to the United States.
Oh.
That's a movie.
I've had like all kind of crazy situations. I actually had this militia reach out to me from California at one point.
We got you, brother.
Yeah, well, because they see us as, it's interesting that you will have people that are like far right wing, like they hate mojados and this and that. That's their thing. But if you serve, you're a brother. But I had this militia reach out to me, and they wanted us to give them intel on who's crossing the border. And I had this other crazy person tell me to put containers on the border. That way it'll be like housing, and we can protect we could protect the United States so immigrants wouldn't come into the country. I had crazy.
Damn.
Yeah, people got ideas, huh, dog?
People got ideas, man.
Full of ideas, man.
Yeah.
One thing I was going to ask you is, so to even like help this circle, I mean, it's also, you have to change it at through laws, but amend some laws, some immigration laws, federal laws. And that's what's really going to totally help you out. And I know if your movement catches mad steam, I know the country's dealing with a lot of baloney right now, but I mean, that's to get some legislators, like you said, behind you and champion some type of change in the current laws, dude, because it's like horrible, especially with, you got all this everybody and their mom supports the troops, but when it comes to critical situations like this, it's like where's everybody at, man?
Yeah. Well, interesting because our situation there's we broke the law in some type of way, and then that's where people are like, oh, well, you broke the law, or it's been a kind of like a hard subject. So but I found ways to kind of talk about PTSD and different things. But going back to what you said, people can also visit the website. They can call their legislators. There's some legislation. I still live in Compton with my parents when I go there. So people want to bring things they can donate. There's a PayPal as well where they can donate directly to the organization, and just share our stuff and visit our website. And, again, I want to thank Felipe and what you guys are doing to raise awareness, because oddly enough, we've done a lot of things, but most people don't know that this is an issue. Most people don't even know that immigrants are serving our military. When I served, I didn't ask the guys, hey, do you got your papeles? Or, hey, I mean, we were just the only
classified, eh?
The only thing we talked about, or the other papeles, it's not weird. But the only thing that we talked about was like, you're from Cali, or you remember, we things that we could relate to. But I don't ever remember even seeing those mass swearings. It was just a different time, but immigration was never brought up. It was just.
One thing I when I travel, sometimes I sit next to a active Marine or active Army, active Navy, Air Force, or a veteran. And when I spoke, one of our drivers in Orlando, his name is George, and he's a veteran. He's a Army, and he fought Desert Storm. The first one was George Bush, and then when they were running out of soldiers, people don't know that. They called back all the unlisted veterans. Hey, man, are you still healthy enough? And he had to go retrained, retrain and come back in his 30s. And he said that he fought, whatever, to make it through over there. But then when he got there, he got hired out by a different company. And then he was in charge of protecting the Iraqi votes, because Iraq was gonna have their first actual public vote, and he was in charge of collecting all the votes. Him and about 10 other guys. That was their job. But what he told me was when he walked into a regular bar in Iraq, like they're just soldiers walking around on their day off. He said that bar looked like the human version of the Star Wars cantina in Star Wars. Like he said, and he said he gets there's a lot of companies from America, Blackwater, a lot of companies, from Europe who have a lot of money and they need protection, these companies, because America's there to protect American interests, not their interests. So these companies have hired, and I'm quoting what he said, ex-MS-13s, ex-fucking KGB, ex-whatever. We're talking, these guys are hiring regular killers to work there. And he said also that when the war that you went to started, he said there was people from Mexico, Dominican Republic, Belize showing up, practically with tennis shoes, volunteering to fight with America. So these are people that are also, I think, we're also trying to get U.S. citizenship and English, because these guys, I didn't even know that so many people from these third world countries were actually volunteering to help America and as their own private unit. But he said, no, Felipe, these guys show up, man, they have no, they don't speak English. He goes, they don't have, some of these guys are just wearing like an old Motley Crue t-shirt on,
Damn.
I think, oddly enough, there's quite a bit of Belizeans that I'm working with. One guy is coming up for a citizenship interview in October, and there's a good number of Belizeans. Most of the Belizeans that I work with, that they actually let them in without any kind of legal status, which they weren't supposed to, but they needed a body, so they did. They were willing to overlook a lot of things just to send people.
And here's the joke by Chicana Feliz saying, why did the tamale go to the hospital? Porque está malito.
Tamalito.
That's just funny, dog.
Hilarious.
That's like another one I heard, eh? ¿Por qué no dejaron al chango entrar a la fiesta?
¿Por qué?
Porque es pachanga, no pachangos.
Funny, dude.
What did I could see you like to laugh. You have a sense of humor. Did that help you a lot over there?
I mean, I'm oddly enough, I do laugh a lot of situations. I remember when I worked in Taco Bell in Compton, we were getting
Taco Bell in Compton.
I remember getting robbed at some point, and this guy had 38 to my head. And yeah, anyways, it was just kind of like I was like smirking. Or, yeah, anyways, I probably just me being what do you call it, nervous. But yeah, during certain situations, I do find myself kind of laughing or try to laugh. But it was tough, man. It was definitely tough.
Man, so the guy went in there and said, "Give me some extra hot sauce or what?"
Give me a Mexican pizza.
Yeah, it was an inside
at the drive-through or inside.
It was an inside job. It was an inside job.
Hey, that's what I hear. Like most robberies at Burger King,
Restaurants in general.
and restaurants in general, is an ex-employee coming back, and the only time when an ex-employee comes back and robs the place, and when they kill somebody, is because they changed the whole system around, and he don't know what he's doing now.
He got caught.
It was brutal in the 90s. I remember that there was another Taco Bell where they shot a couple of people in the fridge and at the Thames.
Oh,
that was where Suge Knight
ran over homeboy.
Yeah, that Thames, man, all kind of people got killed in that Thames.
Which one is that? I want to go to it. On Avalon or what?
Central and Rosecrans. Oh man,
I'm not going to that one then.
There was always murders in that area.
That's a messed up Thames right there.
It's haunted, dude.
But now we have Starbucks and there's no graffiti. I mean, there's hardly any graffiti. It's
gentrified.
It's coming up, man.
Things are changing. That's one of the things that I noticed when I got back is you didn't see a lot of the graffiti. You don't see the homies really kicking it, depending on what neighborhoods you go to. But it's not like back in the day. Everybody's probably on their smartphone in the house, and
yeah, people are busy. Yeah, I feel like all those kids that would get in trouble are now like busy, like doing stuff like online, playing games or like doing TikToks. They're not out there,
or they're, and when you're out there just kind of running amok with your friends or I remember the No 187 walkouts and ditching and all that.
That was 96, bro.
Oh yeah. It was but yeah, it's a different era, and it's good for our communities because things are changing and getting better for us. Compton's changed, man. It's not what it used to be.
Why people are moving in Compton?
What's that?
Why people are moving in Compton now?
Yeah.
Oh, they got the Compton Cowboys out there?
Yeah. Well, we always had them. People don't know this, but Compton used to be a rancho back in the days. And if you look, I went to Compton High. I graduated in 95. And if you look at like the class of 64 or 50, whatever, it's all white. And then it turned into African Americans moved in, and now it's mostly like Latinos moving into a lot of the neighborhoods.
I think every neighborhood has its ebb and flow of different. They change
like parks and all that.
And even Boyle Heights used to be Jewish, and then
Japanese.
Garfield was German.
And then it was Japanese, and then a lot of those people became.
Oh my God, man!
What?
Oh, thrown away, dog. You know how Sorry, Lisa. You know how I posted that post? If you never seen Blood In, Blood Out, you go, I don't trust you, I don't trust your movie knowledge or whatever, We can't talk. So, Boulevard Nights.
Ooh.
And that movie
American Me
Heights
Too
was written by a Japanese guy who grew up in Boyle Heights. Desmond Nakano. He wrote Blood In, Blood Out. No, he wrote Boulevard Nights.
Really?
American Me Too, right?
Huh?
American Me Too, right?
Yeah, he wrote American Me.
Wow.
And he wrote White Man's Burden with John Travolta. It's like a reverse. It's like black people are the white people, and white people are the black people. And where John Travolta lived, that's my neighborhood, bro. Pico Gardens, housing projects. And Boyle Heights, those housing projects were in American Me, and they were also in Boulevard Nights. So I'm guessing this dude must have hung out in the projects to know where to, how to, you know what I mean? So, man, that's my goal, bro. Besides having Hector Barajas on the podcast, which is awesome, we're going to get that guy, Desmond Nakano, one day, bro. And he's going to write my movie, City Pool. And we're going to have a good conversation. That's like the next conversation I want to have.
Hell yeah.
We talked to Miklo. We talked to Hector, man. You know, I mentioned you, Hector, on Bill Burr and Bert Kreischer's podcast when I was promoting my podcast, and they were blown away, bro. Mm-hmm. They did not have no idea what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, people still they don't know. And it's been happening. This has been going on since '96. Like, you know, this law started in '96, so it's been over 20 years that we've been officially deporting veterans. It's crazy that nobody's ever done anything about it.
Yeah, Clinton administration started.
Yeah, right? So people,
that's what the guys down in Mexico were telling us.
Everybody blames Trump. I mean, he did change a lot. Was making it worse for, you know.
He made things a felony, I think, which made it more.
And he's making it more difficult to become a citizen.
Like,
it's been going on for a long time.
A long time. It's like when Democrats deport Mexicans, and it's like deport a shitload of them. You know, like when President Obama was in office, a lot of people got deported. It's just that they don't like showing it to you because that's not part of their narrative. But when a Republican is in office, their narrative is clean the streets, fix our borders, deport people. So when it's a Republican, they'll show you, man. They'll show you a caravan is coming. A caravan is coming. And let me tell you, man, there's no caravan. But, you know, but for people who live in Ohio or who live in Tennessee, Minnesota, St. Paul, who live in the boonies, they're scared, man.
They feel like they're being invaded.
They're fucking scared, bro. They don't know what's going on. Like, when I go to places and they see me, they're shocked of the knowledge that I have, you know, over everything. Like that I even know American culture, you know. They're surprised that we love the same shows.
Yeah.
They can't believe that I grew up watching Three's Company too. They're shocked that I love Lindsay Wagner from Bad Woman.
And isn't it funny that no matter where you go in America now, you'll find Latinos or like a small little town that's like you literally think you're like in LA. Like I've been to Florida and places like New York. I went to like the place where they filmed one of the mom movies, and like the waiters are like Mexicanos.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh shit. That's crazy.
You cannot throw a rock without hitting somebody named Garcia.
There you go.
Yeah, man, they're everywhere. Like the first time I noticed that there were Mexicans everywhere besides California, when I opened up this book called Latinos, and at the library, like, you could tell like nobody had opened this book. It was crunchy. It was like nobody had wrote on that book. Go to page 7. Go to page 8. You know, nobody wrote that shit. You know, there was a big bookmark of nasty pictures. You know, I saw a woman dancing in like the native Mexican dancers she has the beads that and on her ankles, and she was dancing, and I thought it was like in Rosemead or something, right? But when I looked at it, it said Chicago, and I said, "What? Chicago?"
Hill City.
And then right there, and I was a young comedian, and I'm saying, "Wow, man, 10 years from now, they're gonna know who I am." And they do, man. Like, we go to Florida, and there's a lot of Mexicans who live there, who migrated from Texas. In Waimama, it's all Mexicans, man. And then there's a place in Miami where it's all Cuban, right? But then you go to the Mexican side, and they have taco trucks over there. And also in Texas, when I first went to the first time, it was nothing but gross briskets, tacos, and guisados, bro. You go there now, bro, they got real tacos, not those. Okay, Texas, you gotta have tacos too, and they are real, but they're not authentic to Mexicans in LA.
Those are cowboy tacos.
Yeah, you guys have you guys have what they have in Taco Chronicles by those losers right there talking about it. You guys have American tacos. American tacos.
You know what?
Crunchy.
As you're speaking about tacos, you know what I miss? I miss the Taco Bells and that's what I missed when I was over here. Like,
all my relatives in Mexico love Taco Bell.
I was tired of tacos. I was like, people would come visit. They're like, oh, let's go get some tacos. I'm like, oh. I was craving some Tams, some burrito, like some onion rings. Man. Oh man,
think you some bakers, dog.
Yeah, I want burrito supreme, man.
Some Tommies.
People hate on Taco Bell, man. Taco Bell is like that side piece you have waiting for you at 3 a.m. Like it's not much variety, but it's there, eh?
It's good, man. Even though Taco, man,
it'll get things done.
It'll get things done, eh? You're out of there in the morning, eh? You're gonna leave a bad taste in your mouth. But you know what, man? I used to. We always in the show talking about food.
I think we're hungry.
Food, baby.
Hey, did you miss Jack in the Box?
There you go. I missed all the like the Tommies and the Tams and all that good stuff.
I used to be the Jack in the Box king, bro.
Munchie meals.
I got Lisa to get off the vegan lifestyle to eat some chicken with ranch. Bro.
Damn, dude.
Me and Lisa used to go to Jack in the Box and get like the number 6, the crispy chicken sandwich. And everybody talks shit about these sandwiches that are coming out now. Jack in the Box always held it down with that spicy chicken, bro. And then mozzarella sticks.
Oh my gosh.
And the little egg rolls.
Oh, the poppers.
I'll be on my dashboard, bro. I'll be like, oh.
Curly fries, all that shit, man.
They have the best jalapenos.
I put on so much weight.
99-cent tacos too, or $1.19 tacos.
Yeah, man. I know what Hector's talking about, bro. You know, tacos are good and all that. You could eat 10 of them.
I like
but every once in a while, bro, you just want a basic Allen B's bean and cheese burrito, bro.
Oh, that's best. Allen B's is the best. I miss
That's what I didn't like about Tacos Chronicle Part 2, how they neglected when they were talking about burritos. They didn't go to King Taco, man. They didn't go to La Estrella. They didn't go to
J&S.
B's. They didn't go to J&S.
J&S with the green chile burrito.
Ooh.
I mean, J&S in Montebello. How you not gonna go there? You want to talk about American burritos? They don't get no American than J&S in Montebello. You get the green and cheese burrito, you smile at that lady, and you get a corn dog while you wait for your burrito to be done.
Cash only too.
That's a California burrito stand right there.
Cash only
That's
too.
a California burrito stand. Because you know why? Because you know you get a real American burrito.
And you can get a burger there too.
Yeah, it has to come in a yellow wrapper.
Yes, exactly.
If it comes in if my chili fries don't come with a yellow wrapper, I know it ain't gonna be good.
Because it glows in the dark. Because you're too drunk to see. It helps you see. You know the yellow wrapper.
So when you were out there, man, do you have a good relationship now with your daughter?
I'm kind of work on it. When I first got home, I try to be like the parent and kind of like disciplinarian, but that didn't go anywhere because mom's the one that runs runs the house. So but yeah, I'm just kind of working on just being a friend, and just being there for her instead of focusing on roles. And that's another thing that I'm refocusing that I got where I got to regroup and spend more time in LA with my daughter. So so I'm going to be working on that pretty soon.
Yeah, I've been starting a relationship with my daughter. Well, I met her when she was 16 or 17. Because we were estranged from each other.
Is it
I didn't get deported or nothing like that, but I was gone, bro. And you know how that goes, drama. But yeah, now we talk every day. Like I try to. She leaves me a video message every day, and she leaves a video message of my grandson Emilio, who turned 21. Who turned 1?
21.
What are you,
Kids grow fast.
He just turned 1, and he's cute. He has curly hair like me. He has the big eyes. They live in Sweden.
Looks exactly like the picture on your shirt.
You know, exactly like this. Yeah, but sometimes, you know, like it's tough because I feel that I missed like half, you know, and now I'm starting a relationship with an adult, you know, like a grown up, and it's weird because I know that she's grown up and she has things to do, you know, and I feel like I'm just on the side, you know, like I'm coming in from the side because I know I gotta tell myself you're never gonna get those years back. It's never gonna be like 24-hour dad where they need you, you know. They don't need you. They want you there more. I feel like she's always telling me, I just want you around because I love you and you're my father and I want to have a relationship. I want to, you know, just to know you're there. So that's what we do. We just talk to each other and give a little messages every once in a while.
Hey, one of the things that I missed was like when I got deported the second time, she was about 3. So it's like the times when they're like, they want to hug you and
oh man,
I missed all that. I remember there was a point where she came to visit me and she's like, Dad, I don't want you to hold my hand in public. And I literally cried. It like broke my heart.
Oh man, I know what you mean, man. I know my daughter for the first time. I asked my son, who I known forever. I asked him, "Do you think she considers me her father?" She says, "I don't know. She's been calling you Felipe all day." And I was like, "Oh!" We were in the MTA subway. I was looking at him like, "I'm gonna elbow this kid." Why don't you call me Felipe too now, eh?
Hilarious.
That's tough.
And then you know, like, okay, we have friends that who are in their 40s, 46, who talk to their mom and dad every day. Like they call them every day. And I am not that dude, you know. But it's weird, like they talk to their mom every day. I say I'm not that dude. I don't talk to my mom every day. But then like I feel like I want to talk to my daughter every day. You know what I mean? But I don't want to talk to my mom every day. We're gonna reminisce. Are you kidding me?
Every day. I don't understand the people who want to talk to their parents every day. That's strange to me. Strange.
I know that they tell you, hold on, I gotta call my mom. I haven't called her all day. We just spoke to her yesterday.
I haven't called my mom in 5 years.
I gotta make sure she didn't look for my porn. She didn't find my porno magazine.
Different.
Hector, do you have brothers?
No, so I have 2 sisters. My oldest siblings passed away, so it's just the oldest in the family. So it's kind of a interesting role that my sisters actually kind of played big sisters for me for a while when I was deported and helped me out in different situations.
Wow, there's a girl right now. We're talking about Taco Bell. Her name is Chicana Feliz. She's typical the type of fans I have. You know, she's typical of my fans. She don't like King Taco because they asked for her ID for her debit card.
What?
Oh yeah, they do that, huh?
If I would have chose restaurants by them asking my ID, I probably wouldn't have ate anywhere.
We gotta know that you're really you that wants to buy these tacos. What?
It all depends on what King Taco you go to. Like if you go to a King Taco where everybody shows up with a fake card, they're gonna card everybody, eh? And that line's gonna take forever. Yeah. One thing about King Taco, nobody holds more weapons than a King Taco security guard.
Oh yeah,
the King Taco on Fourth and Ford. That dude had a fucking 9mm in his pocket, a 45 right here, and he had a little 38 to put on your hand just in case he shoots you by accident. And, he had a fucking billy club, and he had the extended billy club, the metal one, like an Observe and Report.
Pepper spray.
He also had mace, just in case you're still alive. Dude, I remember Carlos. They had a fucking a fight at King Taco. These fucking cholos from Maravilla were fighting these cholos from the lot. I don't know, but they were from Maravilla. Maravilla is deep, but they were cool, man, because they were chilling, bro. I remember I said, man, look at these fucking cholos. There's old ones and young ones. Like a reunion.
All generations.
I thought they were Victory Outreach, bro. But then the other fools came in, bro, and they were like really loud, bro, on the line, like stupid loud. And one of the dudes got up and went over there to talk to them. And he went in the back to sit down. I guess he wanted to tell them to shut up. And he went to tell the guys they said, fuck off. So those fools went over there, bro. And I never seen anybody just start punching the shit out of somebody, bro, with no questions asked. Like, there was no talking, bro. Like, nothing. It felt like when you punch somebody in your house. You know, it's my house. I'm going to punch you. What are you going to do about it? Get out of the house. So dudes went over there, bro. It's like they timed the punches, bro. And like every punch hit. And then those fools went in the car and left. But I was scared, bro. Eating my burrito like this. I'm going to beat on myself.
Dude, King Taco gets crazy late.
That's why I don't eat at King Taco no more, right? And not because of my debit card. What's up, fool? Hector Barajas, please mention the webpage again so people can buy the merch and help organize and send money.
All right, so again, visit the Deported Veteran Support House. Look us up on social media. I'll send the information out to Felipe so he can tag me again, get more followers.
I will tag you, bro.
And also, we were on this video called "Excuse My Accident." Rob Walker would hate me if I didn't mention it. So you guys can check it out and maybe share it. It's about got a lot of context in it about what's going on today. So I'll send it to you later on. And again, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And we'll hopefully we can continue this conversation. And you're very approachable, which is pretty cool. It's sometimes I've been trying to get George Lopez to contact me, and he's
trying to get some George Lopez. Would you give us some George Lopez?
Busy, eh?
What's that?
I'm busy, vato.
Yeah, busy. Yeah. But I like what you're
tacos, weed now, all that shit.
Yeah, you're very approachable, and even with Rob too. There's just people that are like very easy to, like, just very approachable and really nice to talk to. So I really appreciate it. And thanks
bro.
Thank you, man. For all the work
thank
you're
you,
doing.
man, for sharing that wonderful story with us. It opened
awesome.
a lot of eyes. A lot of people don't know about this, and they know now. And people are here in the comments are talking about it, and they're not just talking about it, but they have their own inside fighting, which I really don't care about. And, but that's their world, you know. They live in that chat room every Wednesday night.
I mean, you're gonna have a lot of different comments about just a lot of misinformation. So about
a lot of misinformation.
Some people say that you were offered it at one point, and the military's been has done things differently, but there's still no program. And so you hear a lot of stupid comments and different opinions, but it's all good. I appreciate what you guys are doing.
That's what I like, man. When people say they support the troops, I think they just support the idea of saying they support the troops. But to really support the troops is, having this conversation with you right here, mentioning you wherever I go, and pretty much supporting the troops is really like putting your foot on the ground, man, and helping somebody, man. Whether it's helping a veteran fill out an application. A lot of people say, I'm for the immigrants. Yeah, bro, you speak good English. Maybe you should go out there and find out if anybody needs help filling out applications right now. You ain't doing shit. Go do it.
Yeah,
right? There's so much scams, too. Like for the many people who need help and have the money, they get scammed by scammers who say, "Yo te regalo papeles, mijo, dame la feria," and boom, they disappear.
Wow, that's a lot.
Those notarios are horrible at that. But you know what? You're right about that. A lot of people drive around with supporting the troop stickers, but they support you up until you're homeless or you're you end up in the system and or while you're out, while you're overseas doing this and that. Even I've seen situations where like there's like a rules of engagement, and if you fuck up or you do something where it's crazy. So yeah, it's a tight and narrow walk for soldiers and for what they do. But thank you guys.
What's up, fool? Anything you want to add, Rodrigo, Martin, Lisa, James, everyone?
No, thank you for bringing all that stuff to our attention because like you guys said, like now more people are gonna be aware of this, and you know, it's just good to know that there's like people like it's just that this happens. You know, it's crazy.
And also that you went through it and then you got your citizenship, and you're gonna help all those folks that you're doing now, dude. And you're doing great work, man.
It's
Remarkable
true, man.
shit, bro.
Like, if you're living in the United States, and if you
That's all I
like
gotta
the
say.
guy, one of the guys just mentioned right now, people say, I love the United States, but they never go to no other state.
Yeah.
If you love the United States, if you really love the United States, you'll go everywhere. You won't go to vacation and to go to Mexico. You go to Hawaii. You know, if you want to go to real vacation, you go to Miami. If you want to see the real beaches, you go to California. That's me, man. That's my view. I love America. All my vacations have been in America. I spend my money in America. I'm not gonna go to Europe until I see all of America.
We'll get deported.
That's my opinion.
There's a lot of America that nobody sees.
Bro, let me tell you, man, if you get on a train and go all the way from California to the New York, you're gonna see a lot of shit, bro.
I want to do that.
But these people want to spend their money and go to Venezuela. They want to go to Italy. They want to go to Mexico. Okay, Mexico's cool too, but hey, man. But as for an American, if you have blonde hair, blue eyes, you should be going to California and spending your money in Malibu before you go to Acapulco. Leave that to us.
Yeah.
What's up, fool? We're getting pumped up. Thank
Real
you.
American, baby.
Thank you, Barajas. Stay in the USA, everybody.
Bye.
Yeah, man. Podcast.
Okay.
Podcast is a nothing.
You
Have a
guys,
good night.